Hi, I'm Matt.
And I'm Leah, and we're from the Grown Up Stuff podcast.
And just in time for tax season, on this week's episode, we're chatting with CPA Lisa Green-Lewis about how small businesses can tackle their taxes using TurboTax Business.
A Forbes study mentioned that a whopping 93% of small businesses overpay their taxes. And 17% of Gen Zers believed that you could write off any expense as a business expense. So
Can't blame them.
It's really important to do your taxes right.
Listen to Grown Up Stuff on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your favorite podcasts.
Hello, it is Ryan, and I was on a flight the other day playing one of my favorite social spin slot games on ChumbaCasino.com. I looked over at the person sitting next to me, and you know what they were doing? They were also playing Chumba Casino. Coincidence? I think not. Everybody's loving having fun with it. Chumba Casino is home to hundreds of casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere, even at 30,000 feet. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com to claim your free welcome bonus. That's ChumbaCasino.com and live the Chumba life.
No purchase necessary. VGW. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
This is The Wheel Weaves Watches, a spoiler-free breakdown podcast of The Wheel of Time on Amazon Prime. I'm your host, Dani, and I'm joined by my co-host, Brett, and we're here to bring you an in-depth look into the Wheel of Time show. We'll share reactions, episode breakdowns, and relevant background information without spoiling future content from the book series. So let's get watching. Today we are talking about episode 4 of season 2 of The Wheel of Time.
Yeah, episode 4 is Daughter of the Night.
I love it.
Oh yeah, fantastic. And turns out maybe, and I'm not going to say definitely, but maybe Celine
isn't a good guy.
But I'm not going to say that I'm not totally into the relationship with Rand. I'm just saying there's some indicators that she would make a good partner.
Mm-hmm.
She is into him. She's passionate. She cares about him.
Yeah.
She wants him to find success. Like, what else do you want in a partner? I don't know.
I mean, other than not having an evil soul.
Yeah.
But,
now, it is kind of cool, too, because this episode, one of the main lines that comes up over and over again is the blood calls blood. And that was an episode in season 1.
Right.
So that was the episode right after Logain had just killed Karini the Aes Sedai.
Ooh.
And then the episode with Stepan, who ultimately killed himself.
Oh.
So, there's a lot of contrasting things with Lan, who has just lost Moraine, compared to how Stepan was able to handle things. So, it's just kind of an interesting dynamic between the episode that was called Blood Calls Blood, and then this one, where that's like a major theme.
Well, because it's in the Dark Prophecy.
Yeah.
Blood Calls Blood.
Yeah, exactly. Which is all about the Daughter of the Night. So, there you go.
Turns out.
Okay, full circle. And I was also reading from her old notes. We ate pasties, the meat pies, during this episode, and I just had a craving.
So good.
You've made them a few times recently.
I will make that for the premiere.
Fantastic. That's what I wanted to hear.
Okay. Steak or chicken?
Steak.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. The chicken ones were good, but
okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. We get it.
Okay. So, do we need to do any recap on what happened in the last episode?
So the recap was all from this season, from the last couple episodes.
Yeah.
So
we're okay?
Yeah, I was only noting things that had
from
happened in season 1, and so now I think we're really
Nynaeve came back through the arches. That's like
that's a
big thing too. So okay, but that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get on to the major cold open here because there's some cool stuff happening.
Mm-hmm.
So that's with the Shamael. He's walking through the area that looks like the big mountains, but it's like the Age of Legend buildings. If you remember how like the Age of Legend buildings turned into the mountains,
they're like crumbly.
Trees.
Yeah.
It looks like that's what he's walking through again.
Interesting.
And that seems to be where he is going to do the old tongue speech that we can't really understand.
Yes.
Doing the weaves, and then ultimately releasing this very blood-covered woman.
Yes.
And we don't know if it's her blood. I don't know if that makes it better or worse that it's not
I don't know
necessarily
why
her
she's
blood.
covered in blood, but
it's just
what I did pick up on though is that he's clearly underneath some type of dial.
Yeah.
Sundial, moon dial.
Thing.
And we know that Bail Doman had a chunk of Coendiar
right.
to give to Moraine when she did that whole trickery barter
Yeah.
with him.
Yeah.
Because she wanted the prophecy.
And it
that
seems
was
like
written-
releasing breaks that, because we saw that at the end of
Right.
season 1 with Rand defeating Ishamael.
Now it's all broken.
Now it's all broken.
And it's like, oh my gosh, I thought this couldn't break ever in a million years.
Turns
for
out
anything.
turns out maybe
that's how.
some specific things can make it break.
Yeah, like releasing a Forsaken from their
Right.
prison?
Cosmic prison. I imagine it like a genie in the lamp situation, you know?
Oh.
Cosmic prison.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
unlimited power, something like that.
Yeah, okay.
Just like if you need something to equate it to.
Right.
Yeah.
But I just like that they specifically showed the dial after we hear from Bail Doman
Right.
that a moon dial was shattered
Mhm.
and this prophecy was written in blood on it or something
There
like
you
that.
go. So
Yeah.
that's the cold open. We get a little bit of the blood feeds blood, blood calls blood, blood is, blood was, and blood shall ever be.
Ew.
You know,
Not for me.
okay, fair enough. Onwards to the major players in this episode. We get a lot of different sequences actually
Right.
in this
I
episode.
feel like it's the opposite of last episode.
Yeah.
Where it was mainly Nynaeve's testing.
Yeah,
Mhm.
this one is everyone's kind of breaking up into different areas now.
Okay.
So we get a lot of a few different people, but not very much in each sequence.
Mhm.
So we've got Moraine and the Lady Anvare.
Who we met last episode.
Yes.
She was the one who was
party,
talking
yeah.
to Rand at
Yep.
the party, and he was holding an invitation, and she was like, "Oh, that's from somebody important. What are you going to do with it?" And then he threw it in the fire.
Right.
And she was like, "Oh, you sneaky."
Okay.
Yeah.
Now this is Moraine's older sister.
Younger.
Right. Older sister. Oh, Moraine is the older sister. Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
I was like, okay, well, she looks physically much older, but
Yeah.
she's actually...
But whoa,
younger.
that's the whole thing.
And we get so many, in case you miss it,
Yeah.
once, twice,
A
three
lot of
times,
indicators. There's the
so many.
painting.
There's a painting.
There's the dude who gets the door, the servant man
and
who's
he
like
comes
Yeah.
in saying, "Your younger sister,
older
is here."
sister.
No,
Yeah.
I did it.
I messed you up now.
Oh, no. And he's like, "Your older sister is here."
It's a whole reverse
Yeah.
thing. The
Mhm.
young one is the old one.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Throws me right off.
Yeah, yeah.
Because she's Aes Sedai.
Yeah, they live a long time.
And they live a long time.
Right. So the old person's in fact the young. Okay, we got it.
slows down their aging.
Right? Okay.
In
Now
case you're like, why? That's weird.
magic.
Good plastic surgery.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rosamund Pike and her genetics.
There you go. It's money. It's got to be, right? Okay, so I love the fact that Maureen comes in and she is steamrolling, and she steamrolls her little sister.
Well, she's been an Aes Sedai for how long? Like
She's used to steamroll, and
20 years at this point, we decided.
yeah, even when Lady Anvare is like, it's been decades since we've even seen each other, she's
She's like-
still steamrolling.
Yeah.
And she asks for a Gildan in red, which, if you forgot, that's what Logain wants.
Loves it.
Loves it so much, but apparently not more than anything.
Mm.
Because he smashes the bottle.
Oh, yeah.
or whatever.
Well, and you had some words for him last
Oh,
time.
I know. He keeps wasting wine. Like, what do we even actually like Gildan in red? Maybe that's the joke. Maybe it's actually bad wine. And he's like, oh, if I'm going to waste wine, it's the bad stuff.
I actually think that he's crazy.
Oh, maybe that.
Yeah.
But he assured us that he, in fact, is not crazy.
Not crazy.
Okay.
Right.
Gonna have to think about this one for a bit.
Yeah.
All right. We get some reminiscing of Moraine in her childhood bedroom, I guess.
I would assume that's what this is.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like it seems like one of those things where you go back to your old house and it's all your stuff from when you were a kid.
Uh-huh.
I can't relate to this at all
No.
because I don't. Yeah, but it's like she has her little music box.
Yep.
And it's like a dollhouse maybe or something.
Yeah, she's got a little dollhouse.
Yeah.
That's nice.
So it's kind of cute. And
Yep.
this is the part when we get the very old painting of old Moraine with little, assumingly, Lady Anvare.
Right, because Moraine looks exactly the same.
Yeah, same.
And
Yeah.
Anvare looks 7.
So, like, if we missed it a bunch of times, like, one more time, there you go.
Yeah.
So then we're going to do a bit of a time lapse in Moraine's plot lines.
Are we just going to stick with Moraine
We're going
and
to stick with
Anvare?
Moraine and
Okay.
we're going to done. Because there's really only, like, 2 major things that happens with Moraine in this episode. So next, Moraine is going to check into what Rand is doing in Kyrian. Because turns out, Moraine sets everything up.
Yeah.
So she visits Logain.
Plans on plans on plans.
So many plans.
Yeah. And then this is where she's going to go and talk to Logain.
Yeah. Yeah, and he isn't exactly happy to see her. There's a little bit of light threatening.
Even the orderly, or I guess the person in charge.
Yeah.
Who Moraine talks to and is like, I want to see the resident.
Yeah, you know the one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's like, are you sure?
Mm-hmm.
And Moraine's like, yeah.
Well, and that could just be because generally he's a man who could channel.
Can't anymore, though.
Yeah, but it's still a dangerous situation.
Yeah.
So.
And Moraine's like, please, I'm an Aes Sedai.
Except that she can't channel right now.
No, but
Whoa.
nobody else knows that.
Yeah, but risky.
Because
maybe a
the
little
amount
bit.
of times she's like, remember, I can't lie.
That's true.
And that makes me think, can you lie now? Like, the amount of times she says that out loud to people.
It's like, maybe you can.
I was like,
Maybe we should be suspicious of that.
I was like, what? With the power, can you also now
Yeah.
lie?
Like, did you get out of that too?
Because it really feels like you're using that when you're clearly lying.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, or twisting the truth in some way.
Bending it very far.
No matter what, it
Yeah.
makes me suspicious.
Okay. I'm going to take back the part where I said it's dangerous to be around because she has a giant knife and we know how Moraine is skilled with a knife.
Oh, okay.
So I'm actually not afraid for her safety.
Oh, I'm never afraid for Moraine's safety.
I mean, you shouldn't be, but if you were, she killed a Fade with a knife.
Yes.
So I think Logain, she can take him.
Yeah, he can't even channel. He's like a sad man.
Hey,
Yeah.
hey now. Okay. All right, so we're going to get a little bit of conversation dialogue between the two of them. And based on her questions, he very quickly figures out that she has essentially set this entire thing up.
Mm-hmm.
Like for Logain to be transferred from the tower to this hospital where Rand was going to be, and then somehow setting plans on plans on plans.
Yeah.
Yeah, so good for her. And she tells him that she knows what he wants, which is the same thing that anyone who's got off from the power wants, and then shows him a knife. And that's an interesting dialogue.
And she would know
because she's cut off.
Because she's cut off.
Right? So is she feeling the same kind of way?
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, but she's hauling water to prevent that from happening.
Well, and she's clearly found her mission. Like, she's still on her mission.
She is very mission-oriented.
Yeah.
Yeah, so good for her. But it is a little bit sad because she's basically telling him, if you do what I want you to do, I'll give you the knife to kill yourself. Mm-hmm. And he bites on that, and he tells her a couple things. One, that Rand is staying at an inn in the Foregate. So that's where she gets the clue that he's in Kyrian in the Foregate at an inn.
Okay.
Second, Logain says that Rand fears and or hates the power, so he can't control it. Which makes sense from what we see in Rand. Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe a little bit scared of it. So,
yes.
Which is an interesting dynamic to Nynaeve, because she's also
scared of it.
A little bit scared of
the power.
Because they got so much of it,
Well, I think that Rand is mostly scared of it because, and he says this lots in this episode, and he said it before, men who can channel kill everyone they love.
You love me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll get to it.
We'll get to it. Okay.
That's my favorite line.
Yeah.
Don't spoil it.
Okay. So to close off this little segment, Moraine wants Logain to train Rand whatever it takes. So that's the mission right now. So, okay. Then we're going to cut to Moraine going through the Foregate.
Right. Okay. So she's going to show up at an inn.
Mm-hmm. Dressed way fancier than everybody else in the Foregate.
Oh, yeah. Well, because when she first showed up, she told the servant dude, I'm going to need a dress.
Yeah.
And I was like, ooh, nice one.
You can't look like a Foregater, I guess, if you need information.
No, that's right. Okay. So she shows up. Turns out the inn is burned down.
Yep.
And so we get an interesting little piece of the time stamp.
Right.
For where we are.
Right.
With our characters. And so she's like, hey, what happened here? And someone's like, I don't know. It burned down. I wish they all did. Like some guard guy.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting, too, because that guard in the next sequence with Moraine and Lady Anvir is one of, I don't know if you want to call him a spy for Lady Anvir, but it's someone who she gets information from about what's going on in the city. So the last section with Moraine and Lady Anvir is that they're here. We get a bit of their backstory on the family history. So apparently their uncle ruined the reputation of House Damodred.
Right. So things were really bad for them for a long time.
Yeah.
And this was right around 20 years ago.
Yeah.
When Moraine went to the White Tower to become an Aes Sedai.
Right.
And Lady Anvir was left alone to pick up the pieces and grovel and
it's so
play
sad
the game
too.
Of houses.
It's so sad because I can relate in a sense to Lady Anvir. She has an older sister who learns she's basically magic. She's magical and can do magic. And Lady Anvir's like, I tried so hard. I stayed up at night trying to do magic too, and I couldn't. So I had to stay here in dumb non-magic land and do this junk.
Well, and especially when you grow up with an older sister in a noble house, right? You are probably assuming that she's the one who's going to take on all the noble crap.
And now you don't get to be magic, and you have to do
all the annoying noble crap.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Okay. So,
and I can relate as the oldest sister who wants to just run away and do magic. Yeah. I want no responsibility.
That's the thing. I think everybody really wants to be able to do magic.
I think that's what it is.
That's the thing. Okay.
Yeah.
So Lady Anvir had to stay and rebuild the dumb family house.
Right. And now, turns out she's done such a good job of it. She has all the guards reporting to her, everything that happens here.
Yep.
She knows about all of Moraine's eyes and ears. Are now also Anvir's eyes and ears.
Yeah, so everything that Moraine has done in the city, more or less, Lady Anvir knows about it.
Yeah.
So
and
that is
to top things off,
yeah,
just to keep in our back pockets, Lady Anvir's son is going to marry the Queen of Cairhien.
Yes, yeah. So
that's in the works. That's the
noble
plan.
house is looking up again.
Betrothed.
So there we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's basically the Moraine plot lines for this episode. Little bit of backstory
until the very last scene.
Yeah,
which
but we're not gonna
cover.
We'll cover after
when we get there.
Yeah.
Okay, so now after that exciting plot point.
Yep.
We're gonna jump over to some other characters.
Yeah, the White Tower girls. So let's do that. So we have Nynaeve, Egwene, Elaine. There's a bit of a overlap of a few people.
Yep.
Leandra's in there too, but we've got first off Nynaeve reliving some of her trauma alone in her room. And then there's the knock at the door, and this is when Egwene finally comes in, I guess for the first real time after everything has happened, to check on her.
Yeah, it's so bad, though.
It's a brutal scene. It's pretty terrible. So we know that Nynaeve was in there for effectively years.
Yes.
Had a life, had a daughter.
Yes.
And then it's just, I know Egwene is trying to be a good friend here.
So supportive and just trying to like reassure her.
But when
she's like almost like you would say to someone who had a nightmare, it's not real. It's not real.
But when you say over and over, it's not real to the daughter that
she wants
you
it to be real. That's literally the problem, Egwene, is that it's not real.
Yeah, but I mean, Egwene doesn't know any of that. She doesn't know, and that's the sad part is she's saying the exact wrong thing.
Yeah.
Because she's trying to be helpful and just doesn't know what happened.
I know.
Brutal to watch, and I just.
Well, yeah, and it's definitely not on Nynaeve to be like, actually, this is what I experienced,
I know.
And here's what you're saying and why it's wrong.
You can't win. It's a no-win situation.
No, it's miserable. It's terrible.
Yeah, so there's some of that. And then it kind of cuts over to Egwene and Elaine now talking about how Nynaeve is different because she's back. But I mean, that makes sense if you grew up for years and then come back. Yeah, you're different. It's different. But Elaine also points out maybe it's because she's also accepted now and there's a bit of a difference.
Yes, because we do get Nynaeve in her accepted dress with the rainbow cuffs.
I do love those.
And she has her Aes Sedai ring.
Yeah, which
very pointedly, which she got.
Yeah.
Even though they melted one on her behalf.
Right.
She got, I guess, another one.
Like, oh, shoot. We had no spares.
And in her testing, it was when she said, keep your stupid ring and shove it up your butt.
Mm-hmm.
I hate you and I'm leaving. And so now it's showing us that she did, in fact.
Yeah, but she wasn't wearing it when Egwene knocked on the door.
No.
She had to go put it on before opening the door.
I don't think that she loves what it symbolizes.
Which I get that. I understand that.
I think this is all terrible and I don't like it. How about that?
Again, no right answer.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do like the power difference there too. Like maybe that's a thing. I think we saw some novices bowing to her in the hallway.
Yeah.
So there's
showing
that too.
deference.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then we've got a couple different scenes here. So we've got Nynaeve going off to try and find the warders because we know she's got that relationship.
And she likes the physical activity of learning the sword. And
yeah. And then Liandrin confronts Lyanna because there is news that the Western Shore is under attack.
Okay, wait, hold on. You're jumping all over the place.
Okay.
You're really
It was all
excited.
in the same... So Liandrin sees Nynaeve doing that ward thing, and then she gets handed a letter that she then takes to Lyanna.
I know, but you're still jumping ahead because I want to talk about her interaction with the random warder dude.
Okay.
I thought that was very funny, and I liked it.
Yeah. He totally overstepped, and he knows it
He's
after
like,
he does it.
oh my gosh, you're so cool.
Yeah.
You're so powerful.
I hope you're
really
not going
like
to be a
you.
red.
Don't be a red. You know why he doesn't want her to be a red?
Because...
Reds don't take Warders, and
maybe
he wants to be her warder, maybe.
Okay. All right.
I don't know. I liked it. I bet we're never going to see him again, but
it's a cute interaction.
I thought it was funny.
It's neat.
And she's not into it even a little bit.
Oh, yeah, no. Yeah, and I get that. I understand that. I like that people know her. Yeah. Even people who maybe wouldn't necessarily know her.
Yeah, she's a little famous now.
A little famous.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
Okay. So then Leandrin sees her.
Yeah, she sees her. In that scene, gets handed a letter. She reads the letter, like a secret note or whatever.
Yeah.
And then takes that to Liana, who is the keeper.
And then we find out.
Yeah. Western Shore is under attack. So that's where the Shanshan are.
Yes.
That's the Western Shore.
No, I'm understanding
Okay.
I'm just waiting for you to be done talking, so it's my turn to talk.
Okay, you go now.
Because I was going to say we find out that Swan is not in the tower.
Right.
The Amyrlin seat is not here. And Liana, the keeper of the Chronicles, vice president, is in charge here.
Well, I don't think I ever heard that she specifically wasn't in the tower.
No, she's not.
Liana just wasn't answering.
No, I think it's pretty clear that Swan's not there.
Okay. Like maybe she's pooping and doesn't want people to know. I don't know.
No, I think it's pretty clear because Leandrin says, and the Amyrlin knows, and then when Liana and Leandrin sound the same, and I'm having trouble with the names. Liana says, well, when the Amyrlin is away...
Yeah, away in the toilet, in the bathroom.
No, away from the tower.
If that's what your opinion is, okay.
It is. And then so she's like, well, she's away, and so, therefore, I speak for the Amyrlin, and I know. I'm effectively the Amyrlin, too. So, yes, the Amyrlin knows. Yeah. But the question is, does Swan know? Yeah. I don't think so. So there's something very concerning that Leandrin says. Leandrin, because Liana, this is your fault. Leandrin says, if she falls, you'll fall with her, referring to Swan. That's concerning. Yeah. I don't know if you should openly threaten the second in command here. Yeah, that would be like if me, the teacher, just started threatening the assistant principal. Yeah, you got to threaten the principal directly. No,
like that.
No. If I'm the teacher, I'm actually not going to threaten.
Don't do that either.
I'm not going to threaten any administration.
Right. Okay.
I'm not going to do that.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Okay.
Don't threaten the deputy. Right. About the Amyrlin. Gotcha. Falling. Okay, so Leandrin does that to Liana. Mm-hmm. Boom. Next scene. Also. Concerning. Right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So now we've got Nynaeve going back to the Arch's room, which is something that really doesn't happen very often. And we know that because Leandrin comes to visit her in the Arch's room and they have a nice old conversation here. They actually do have a nice conversation. It's a really nice conversation. It's annoying. It's annoying how much this show is making me like Leandrin. Yeah. In this moment, like she's really good real person, and she's like, look, I had to struggle through crap too, and she relates to her with like a personal experience, like wow, like having to. She didn't want to give up her son. Yeah, it's like a real thing because they've already had some interaction with that too. Well, and it's so nice too because last episode, Leandrin was the one who was like, don't burden us with your memories. Yeah, we don't want your fears in our heads. Yeah. So there's an interesting line that she says, too, that just kind of makes a lot of the world of the Wheel of Time make sense, too. So Leandrin says, the men who can channel, they're cursed because they go mad, but women are also cursed because it slows down their aging and they have to watch the people they love pass by. So that just kind of makes a lot of sense why we don't have Aes Sedai in like long-term relationships, bearing children, things like that too. And knowing that Nynaeve as a wisdom can channel that, maybe that goes further to like more people, more women who can channel, maybe not just like one like White Tower. Interesting. Women. Okay. So just, it's kind of cool in universe. I can see why if you live a long time, you might not want to do that. Right. And the parallel between this explanation and what's happening with Moiraine and her sister in this episode, it's nice. It's a nice explanation-y little thing for us, the viewer. Well, if you want to go even deeper, it's the blood part of the episode, right? No, it's not. Well, blood is in, like, family. Oh. Yeah. Okay. I was like, whoa, that's a stretch. I don't think magic's in the blood. Yeah. No, it's like it's in your blood, you know? No, like family, it's your blood. It's your midichlorians. Right. That's the same guy. You know what? Rand, he looks like he does look like Hayden Christensen. I know. We said that. He really does. Yeah. I know. It works.
So this is where Leandrin is now going to use that personal relationship that she's just built a little bit more to tell Nynaeve that she has learned about
so sneaky.
An invasion in the West. But nobody cares. Nobody cares about it.
And this is where the conversation turns from nice therapy session to manipulation central.
Right. So let's talk about this strange group that they captured, because I love how much Leandrin lays it on to make sure we're so clear about who this might be. There's a group of Shienarans that were captured.
And like weird that they're so far away from
it's
Shinar.
Like in the West. And if you remember, Shinar way not even close there.
Super northeast even.
Other side.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And then an Ogier. Whoa,
weird.
Right?
It's so weird. I've never even seen one of those before.
Yeah. And then this dude.
That's Loyal.
Right, that was Loyal.
Yeah, in case you forgot.
And then a dude from the Two Rivers who's a blacksmith.
Oh my gosh. And I think his name might start with a P.
Something like that. And I'm pretty sure there's only there's like one or two blacksmiths in the Two Rivers. Like Sharon. No, not Sharon.
Okay. Yeah, it's on the tip of my tongue.
Lays it out for her.
Yeah.
And also, don't tell anybody about it, please.
Oh, and they're not doing anything about it.
Yeah. So, general rule, if someone says don't tell anyone about it, you should at least tell someone about it. Mm-hmm. You should always tell someone whenever someone says don't tell anyone. That's my rule.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You're going to disagree with me here. Yeah? Okay.
That's a very blanket thing to say about a lot of things that are...
I don't know. I'm comfortable with it. Anything that anyone ever tells me, I tell you.
If I was like, oh, Brett, I'm feeling really sick and I'm in the bathroom all day.
Yeah.
I probably...
Gotta tell someone about that.
And then I was like, please don't tell anyone. Like if we're at a party or something and I stunk up the bathroom.
If anyone tells you something about a kidnapping and then says, don't tell anyone.
Yes.
Then tell someone.
Okay. How about nefarious activity?
Sure. You know what? That's better. That's better.
Yeah.
I retract my previous statement.
Because if I was like, I'm the one who clogged the toilet, don't tell anybody.
Oh, man.
Then I'm
for sure telling.
No, but I really wouldn't want you to.
Well, it's going to happen.
It's like a different situation.
A friend of mine that I know, not me, but somebody I know.
No, you know what you would do as a really, really loving partner?
Nope.
You would
take the blame. Clog it more and then leave. No. Oh, man. Okay. So, Leandrin, up to no good in this neighborhood.
Man, this is a very bathroom central
You know
episode.
What? That's how it goes sometimes.
It's very bathroom centric.
Yeah, that's fine. The people are okay with that.
Oh, I sure hope so.
Interestingly, in Nynaeve's room, under her bed, in that opening scene with her, when
chamber pot.
Gross. I noted it.
You noted a chamber pot?
Yeah, I feel like recently chamber pots have come up in conversations.
In your regular life?
In regular life. No.
Not me.
No. No?
Nope.
Okay, just me?
Just you.
Okay, that's fine.
Oh my gosh.
All right, so last scene we're going to get. We're going to skip ahead a little bit. Elaine and Egwene are talking about their own fates because Elaine's like, I'm a princess, and Egwene's like, I'm not a princess.
I'm a nobody.
Yeah, and they do the whole, oh, I wish I was you thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine. It's cool.
Mm-hmm.
And because their lives are preset. Elaine has everything preset for her. Egwene would kind of want that. Like, stop whining that you're going to be the queen
princess,
of Andor.
Yeah.
Like, I can't relate to that. Anyways.
Okay, fair.
Nynaeve comes in and kicks Elaine out of her own room.
And Elaine's like, this is my room.
But then she goes. She
does. But then she comes back?
Well, I mean, she
What
left
happens?
the room.
Okay.
I would have to assume she leaves the room, but doesn't go far.
All the way away. Okay.
Yeah, because or just follows them afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
Of course she's going to. It's Elaine. It makes sense.
Okay.
And Nynaeve shares the news with Egwene about Perrin and Loyal being captured, and then it's like, don't tell anyone.
Right.
It's just so funny because like they're doing the don't tell anyone.
The don't tell anyone thing.
You weren't supposed to tell anyone.
Yeah, except you really can't tell anyone. This is like if your best friend clogged the toilet, and then you're gonna come tell me,
and then you're like, you can't tell anyone because I wasn't supposed to tell anyone.
Yeah, exactly. And then I'm definitely gonna
and I'm
tell
telling
someone.
you, so you definitely can't tell anyone. Otherwise, it's gonna spiral out of control.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Someone should just get a plunger, probably.
Maybe they didn't exist yet. I don't know.
No, if we're at a party.
Oh, at a party, yeah, no.
Yeah.
Buy a plunger before you need a plunger. That's my life advice for people who ask for life advice.
That's bad.
It's a pretty good rule.
I feel like people know that one.
You would think so.
Huh.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Anyway.
Yeah.
Oh no, our friends are in mortal danger.
Yeah, and Egwene says, I don't mind being expelled. I'm coming with you.
No, well, what happened, what had happened was...
Yeah.
Nynaeve says, I'm leaving, and I just wanted to let you know. Accepted can leave.
Yes.
Novices can't. So when I'm gone, don't think that I'm dead in the arches or something like that.
I'll be dead on the West Coast.
On the West Coast.
Right.
Yeah. And then that's when Egwene says, I'll come with you and face the consequences later.
Yes. The expulsion.
Yeah.
All right, and there's a little bit of heartfelt back and forth because Egwene's like, oh, I try so hard in the tower because I wanted to be ready at the eye, and if I was ready at the eye, maybe Ran would survive. Yeah, so it's a little bit of back and forth. So anyways, skip ahead. They go down to the basements. There's a lot of dark hallways, and we really got to stop going through like dark, spooky hallways, guys. Seriously, I don't know. I don't know what it is. Like, I don't know if I would be the person to go down through the dark, spooky hallways. Mm-hmm. If someone's like, meet me down here. Like, no.
Yeah.
I don't want to meet you there.
Yeah, I don't even really like being in the basement by myself.
Yeah, right?
Like the regular house basement.
That's where the ghosts live. You have to assume.
It's so dark down there.
Where do they live? In the basement. Ugh. Makes sense. Okay. And that's when Elaine... Or the attic. Yeah, yeah.
Ghosts never live on the main floor of the house.
That would be too inconsiderate. Yeah. Okay, anyways, Elaine is following them, and she shows up, and she's like, I'm coming too. And then we get left on this big cliffhanger sequence where Leandrin comes in now. Yep.
Turns out she's not a good guy.
Well, it's a little bit too early to say right now.
That doesn't look like good guy behavior.
She says she doesn't look happy that they're all here because there was only supposed to be 90.
You're an inconvenience.
To Elaine. Specifically,
yeah, I know.
She's saying that to Elaine is that you're a complication. Probably because she's the princess daughter heir of Andor.
Right.
She's like an important person, and if she goes missing, there will be people looking for her.
Yeah, that is a complication.
If Egwene goes missing, who's, you know?
Yeah.
Nynaeve, maybe, right? But
yeah,
Elaine is a different story. And anyways, then she power blasts the three of them against the wall.
Well, not before she looks at Nynaeve and says, I actually am kind of sorry for this.
Yeah.
Like, I think she actually does like Nynaeve.
Yeah.
But she still has to go through with whatever plan she's planning
exactly.
at this point, because she's clearly not a good guy.
It's a future conversation.
Yeah.
So, anyways, Power Blast knocks them all out.
I got not good vibes when one of your teachers manipulates you into doing something.
Coming into the dark, spooky basement hallway.
It would be the ultimate plot twist if it turns out she's just knocking them out.
To bring them to the surprise party.
To somewhere. It's like when you convince your friend you've forgotten their birthday.
Yes.
To make them feel super shitty all day.
Exactly.
And then
surprise them with a surprise party.
With a surprise party.
They love it.
So nice. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I just don't think that's what
Not
this
for
is.
me. Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah.
All right, that's it for that plot line. Let's do some of the little ones here because we have the Perrin plot line.
Okay, but before we jump into anybody else...
Okay, we need a break.
I need a break.
Yeah, new drink.
Yeah.
Then we'll get rolling.
Sounds good.
Hi, I'm Matt.
And I'm Leah, and we're from the Grown Up Stuff podcast.
And just in time for tax season, on this week's episode, we're chatting with CPA Lisa Green-Lewis about how small businesses can tackle their taxes using TurboTax Business.
A Forbes study mentioned that a whopping 93% of small businesses overpay their taxes. And 17% of Gen Zers believed that you could write off any expense as a business expense. So
can't blame them.
It's really important to do your taxes right.
Listen to Grown Up Stuff on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your favorite podcasts.
How to have fun anytime, anywhere. Step 1. Go to ChumbaCasino.com.
ChumbaCasino.com. Got it.
Step 2. Collect your welcome bonus.
Come to Papa welcome bonus.
Step 3. Play hundreds of casino-style games for free.
That's a lot of games. All for free?
Step 4. Unleash your excitement.
Woohoo!
Chumba Casino has been delivering thrills for over a decade. So claim your free welcome bonus now and live the Chumba life. Visit ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Recently, a new client called me and started by saying, Mr. Morgan, I really need your help, but I'm just a nobody. Those words stunned me, and I immediately called him back, and we're now helping him and his family after a terrible accident. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Everybody who comes to our firm at their time of need is a somebody. I grew up poor, but my grandmother was like a queen to us. At Morgan & Morgan, our goal is to level the playing field for you and your family at your time of need. The insurance company has unlimited money and resources. You need a firm who can fight them toe-to-toe. For right at 30 years, we have fought them in courtrooms throughout America. Our results speak for themselves. And always remember this, everybody is a somebody, and nobody is a nobody. Visit forthepeople.com to learn about our firm, Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Injured? Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Okay, so we're back, and we're jumping into Perrin, you say?
Yeah, because there's just a teeny little bit.
What do we even see them in this?
We do. We see Perrin and Elias.
Perrin with Elias, and we get lots of wolfy stuff. Oh, and we get Hopper. Okay, yes, I remember.
That's it. That's it. That's the stuff we see.
Man, Perrin people really love this stuff, I bet.
Yeah, so we get Perrin, Elias, and the wolf pack. They're following the caravan, but it's been hours since they've seen it. So Perrin's like, do you even know? And you know where we're going? And Elias is like, we know. They're leading us. And Perrin kind of backtalks.
Perrin's like, you're not even trying to save everybody. And Elias is like, of course I'm not trying to save everybody. I'm following the wolves.
But we have a hilarious exchange because Elias tells Perrin that they're the same, and they are what is known as wolf brothers.
Wolf brothers.
So cool.
Wolf brothers.
Yeah. No.
I was trying to come up with a theme song on the spot, but I couldn't think of anything.
It sounded like the Transformers.
That's
Transformers.
Why robots in disguise. I know, that's why I had to stop. Because
these wolves talk to guys. I don't know. There you go. Perfect. So
that's pretty good.
So Perrin does a hilarious thing.
This wolf jumps into disguise.
You gotta stop. We don't have time for this. No more. It's like in a TV show when they can only play a little bit before they have to pay for the song.
Yeah.
We can't afford
no
any
more
songs.
Seconds.
We can't afford any
you
bit
think
of
we
song.
have to pay for the Transformers theme song?
Maybe. I don't want to know. I don't want to find out. Okay.
I feel like in our book podcast we do stuff all the time.
Probably.
At this point,
okay.
Nobody
Hold on. Back
listens.
to it. Because Perrin's like, hey, and he looks at the wolves and he's like, am I going to change into a wolf? Am I going to turn into a wolf? Which is hilarious. Werewolf. I love it. And Eliza's like, no, idiot.
Yeah.
It's a good, funny little tidbit there. So then we get a little bit of explanation off of how the visions that he's seeing are working.
Is the wolves talking to them. Yeah.
Yeah, and they work off of instinct. And then we get the little sequence where they're eating, and then we find out that the one wolf will tell Perrin his name when he's ready. And then shortly after, we get a nice little hopping scene, and his name's Hopper.
Okay, side note.
Yeah.
Visual effects of this wolf vision sequence.
Yeah.
I like it.
Okay, as opposed to previous ones?
As opposed to visual effects in general in this whole series.
Oh my goodness,
which I
come
don't
on.
like.
Jeez.
These I like.
Okay.
And I think that they come very close to what I picture Perrin seeing when he describes wolf visions in the books.
Because the wolf visions are described as you get to see stuff.
Yeah.
Like seeing the visions.
So the wolves don't talk a language to you.
Yeah.
They don't go ruff, 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 and then you like understand them.
Yeah.
They
communicate through visions, which can then be turned into, for ease of communication for the book, into sentences.
Yes.
Basically. Like even the name Hopper.
Yeah, he's like, Hopper, and then Elias goes, close enough.
Yeah, so it's like a fun little
Your
play.
interpretation
like, at some point,
right?
you got to just tell me what's happening. At some point, I need more information
it's like
here.
A picto language.
Yeah.
But anyway, so special effects of the wolves and the visions, like them, eating of quote raw meat.
You don't think it was real raw meat?
It looked terrible.
Well, it's raw meat.
No, my pet peeve in this entire series.
No. You hate all eating. You don't like any eating.
No, I thought Matt's eating was good.
Okay.
When he ate those honey cakes or whatever.
Right. I think that because we talked about.
Because he was legitimately eating.
Brad Pitt, right? We just talked about this.
Yeah, I just don't like fakey
it.
eating.
Okay.
I just think it's.
You get attached to the weirdest things to have an issue with. Like. I don't give a crap about that.
Ugh, I was like, what is that? Like a piece of cake?
Probably. Like, do you want him to actually have to eat real raw meat? Like, that doesn't.
Come on,
no.
prop department. You did so good on everything else. You can't do the meat.
No, I don't know. Okay.
I would take bites of raw steak. And just
no, you wouldn't.
If I was an actor in a show?
No, you wouldn't. Not a chance.
I might.
You're just lying.
I would spit it out. Like, I wouldn't finish
it. You'd spit into your spit bucket next to you.
I probably would just eat it.
Okay, we're done with this conversation.
Okay. It'd be gross, but like...
No. We're done with this. We're done with that part. We got to move on.
Fine.
Before we move on, Hopper lost his mate too, and he mourns her still. So Hopper and Perrin have a little connection there.
Oh, yes, because, reminder, Perrin's wife's dead.
Yeah, yeah. And they all see her, Perrin's wife, when they sleep because Perrin has been sending messages to the wolves for months now.
Okay, and so that brings me back to season 1.
Yeah.
When we saw Layla all zombified in a dream.
With the wolf
like eating her. And we're like, what the hell is going on?
Well, that was also like a pretty crazy, weird dream, too. That was also an
Ishmael
Yeah, that was like
thing.
Ishmael dream sequence type thing.
I know, but it was still...
Yeah.
The wolves were there, and
There's
so was Layla.
Questions about it, so... But yeah, and then last little piece of information we just got to tuck away here. Elias and the wolf, they don't go near women who can channel. I said I don't trust what they don't understand, and neither does anybody else.
So we hate people.
We stay away from people.
We are a recluse in the woods.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
With the wolves.
I like it. It's pretty cool.
No, you don't. You hate sleeping on the ground.
I like to watch it on TV. I'm not saying I would do that.
I was like, you don't want to...
I really like to, shower and stuff too. Like I'm not giving up.
When you're camping though,
running
you don't
water.
mind. But you need a comfy.
Yeah.
You can't sleep on. Your back is too bad.
It's so bad. It's so bad. Okay. Anyways, that's the Perrin Elias sequence here. We have one other teeny tiny little sequence with Matt and Min. We got like 2 scenes with them. So the first one, they're dicing and drinking at an inn.
Which I love.
Fun little flirtation, too. I love their dynamic, where it's a little playful.
For me, it doesn't feel flirty. It feels friendly.
Oh, I mean, I'm going to say that there's a teeny little bit of flirtiness with Matt. Like,
I think
the door is open.
Listen, I think that Matt...
Yeah.
We're getting a picture about him always being quite flirtatious. Like, even with Leandrin at some points, he's got some banter.
Yeah.
And so... I don't think there's anything
I'm just
reciprocal
saying
from
the door is open.
No.
On Matt's side. If Min wanted to walk through that door.
It feels friendly. It doesn't feel...
I don't feel like it's weird. I'm not saying it's weird.
Yeah, I don't think it's
not
flirty.
aggressive. It's not. It's just he's a friendly, charismatic dude.
Okay, I'll take it.
Okay. All right, and then it gets a little bit weird because Min is paying for a bunch of drinks, and she wants the attic room because there's someone who's supposed to meet her here.
But she doesn't even know who she's meeting.
And she's also basically trying to get Matt super drunk because she pays the bartender to, like, make sure he keeps getting served.
Well...
There's some weird stuff going on here.
I didn't get that, but I understand how you could get that. So, in this scene... It is cryptic, for sure.
Yeah.
And so Matt and Min are dicing and drinking, and he goes, next round's on you.
Yeah.
She goes up and pays money, and then she goes, we're going to need a room too, or something like that.
Yeah.
And then...
The attic. That's when she tells the guy about the attic.
And then that's when she says, yeah, I'll need the attic. I'm meeting someone there. But when he looks at the money that she's put down for like 1 round, he goes, he hasn't drank that much yet, but it almost feels bribey.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like...
Well, she says after that, she says he will in a little bit.
Yeah,
or if, he will with some encouragement. Like, you keep bringing him drinks, he'll drink this much.
Okay, for me it felt more like, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
But I thought it was more bribe to keep quiet and give us the attic room and help me have this meeting with somebody who's I like that all too. Good.
I like that
it felt like a bribe.
Yeah.
Rather than trying to get Matt drunk. But okay.
Yeah.
I could see both things.
Okay. Now, the later sequence is Min waking up, or like we're suddenly in Min's
dream,
like perspective dream. Something weird is going on.
It's like flashy.
Yeah. So we get visions, memories of her crazy aunts who, as a child, Min had to like run this fortune teller stand because she literally sees visions of people's futures, and her aunts definitely exploited her as a child or when she was younger. So that's bad, and she's reliving some of this.
Okay. And it's almost flashy.
Yes.
Sporadic flashes of different people sitting across the table from her, asking different questions. And then guess who shows up?
Ishamael.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So that part is super upsetting for me.
Okay.
I don't like it because I like Min.
Yeah.
And even when last episode she was meeting with Leandrin,
yes,
trying to get out, it wasn't obvious that something like super negative was happening or like super evil. It was just like, okay, Leandrin and Min are working together to get Matt somewhere, but that doesn't mean it's inherently evil.
Yeah, same with Leandrin until we see the weird basement sequence with knocking them out. It's like, is this evil or just like, I don't...
yeah, right. And then this is the literal...
Yeah. Father Elias, betrayer of hope, forsaken. He has lots of names, as he says.
In case you forgot. In case you don't know who he is
You're
by
like,
now.
Who's this guy?
Oh, right. That guy.
Yeah.
That guy. The most evil of everybody in this series at this point.
Yeah. So he's here because they have a deal, from what it sounds like, that she can potentially have her power taken away so she doesn't have to see anything anymore.
They're going to bargain.
Yes. So Min says Leandrin, or like the conversation goes, Leandrin promised to take away her visions. And Ishamael says, I said I can't do that.
But I can.
For something, the dark is the only place to turn. So that's interesting. Min tries to back out of it. So I appreciate that she's like, actually, no.
But at that point,
you're
can't.
too far in.
And I don't like it because I like Min and I don't want, like, I feel bad for her and I don't want her to get caught up in this crap and it annoys me.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like one of those, it's not like a vampire who can't come into your house unless you invited it. Like, you already invited it in the house by going this far with it.
Shoot.
Like, you can't just back out now.
Shoot.
So,
yeah. That's bad.
Min's here to get instructions on where to bring Matt next.
And it is?
Kyrian.
Kyrian.
What's in Kyrian?
Rand
is in Kyrian. Yeah.
Well, especially because we saw her have a vision of Matt killing Rand.
Yeah.
So, I wonder what Ishamael wants from Matt.
Like, is
I'm
that...
like putting the pieces of the
is
puzzle
that what
together.
we want? Yeah.
Like, that's what it feels like.
Yeah, I mean, it's very possible. It's very possible. Okay. All right. So that's the end of the Matt and Min stuff for this episode.
Right. Not my fave. And I like Matt and Min.
Yeah.
As characters, some of my faves.
Yeah.
Plotline.
Bad decision making happening right now?
Not
Maybe.
my fave.
Maybe a little bit.
Not my fave. I don't love it. I don't like it. It makes me go, what is happening? And I don't like this.
Yeah.
Rude.
Okay. Now we can move on to the...
Alana,
Ivan, Maxim, and Lan. Because now he's roped into their storyline.
Threesome.
Yeah. Foursome?
Their trifecta.
Now they're a foursome.
No,
yeah.
Lan is roped into their love triangle.
And Alana's big family, whose home they're at, has a very important question.
Because they've been traveling.
Yeah.
And so I guess this is where they're stopping for now.
What's the important question that the family has for her?
Is it breakfast yet? Is it lunchtime? Where's dinner?
Where does the third one go?
Oh, gross.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the
no, I picked up on all the talk about the food.
Yeah, okay. You know what? I gotta say, the spread does look great.
Looks good.
Alana, I don't know about her cooking skills. She's threatening people to light them on fire if they complain.
Right.
And then Lan's like, I'm not hungry.
I'm not hungry. And she's like, breakfast was at least 2 hours ago.
Yeah, statistically, you should be hungry again. It's
no, and especially if it's like feast every meal.
I know.
My gosh.
I don't know. I don't know what to say here.
You keep your strength up when you're traveling on the road and border fighting and stuff.
That's true. And maybe Warder's got to eat more. I don't know. Who knows? Okay, so this is where we kind of get the overlay from the season 1 Blood Calls Blood episode with the plot line of how is the Warder doing now that he's lost the Aes Sedai. Because Lan goes off to go pee, and Alana comes to check on him, and he points out that...
More bathroom stuff from
More
you.
bathroom. It's just the way we got... You know what? It's one of those things that never happens in TV shows and movies, and you're like, these people have to go to the washroom at some point.
Yeah.
Well, here we are. So yeah, Lan points out that whenever he steps away, one of them will come and check on him. Because that is the whole checking on his headspace of how he's doing.
Well, it's kind of like how Lan sat with Steppen and...
He tried, but Steppen found a way.
Him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, found a way.
Sleepy tea.
Yeah, so this is where we find out that the three of them, so Alana, Maxim, Ivan, are going back to the tower tomorrow, and they want to know what Lan's plan is.
Mm-hmm. Are you coming with us?
Yeah, because Nynaeve's going through the arches, which is very fast.
Yes. And we know you guys had a thing.
Yeah, we heard about that.
Yeah.
Heard about that. So it's kind of interesting because Nynaeve's, archway sequence.
Yes.
Had Lan coming to see her and was like, I got here as fast as I could. So it's just funny how that is almost real.
Mm-hmm.
Like it could have been.
I know. That's what really...
Yeah.
You mean what might be?
What might be?
That's...
Whoa.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
Yep.
I like it.
But what I do have to point out here is I don't think that Moraine's bond with Lan has been severed in the same way as if an Aes Sedai dies.
Yeah, they do point that out. Yeah, Lana mentions that, like, it is different.
It's so different because there's a scene where Lan is talking to Maxim, one of the warders, who is like, hey man, you're doing really well. And Lan says, yeah, well, it's not really the same for me. My bond to Moraine has been masked for like 6 months now. And then that's when we get some sort of like relatable stuff about, oh, not every marriage is the same.
Yeah, and Maxim has his bond masked a lot too. So yeah, there's differences, but it's actually pretty good advice.
But it's not a full severing.
Yeah, it's not the same thing.
It doesn't feel like it would be the same.
Yeah.
For me, anyway.
Yeah. So later we get another scene with them. The 3 warders, they're doing a little bit more bonding by meditating. Apparently Maxim isn't very good at it, but Maxim also uses this as a sneaky opportunity while Lan and Ivan, they're talking and they're having like a heart-to-heart about Moraine and what Moraine said to Lan, which was... Moraine told them that all these years, she never considered Lan an equal.
Yeah, and then they laugh at him, and they're like, of course you weren't equals.
I love
dummy.
Ivan's
You're
response.
literally her protector.
It's like, they call down lightning from the sky. They are better than us.
Yeah.
Like, that's
Why are you so hurt by that?
Yeah, so puts it in perspective. But then Maximus sneak in. He goes away to show Alana the poem that Lan has hidden in his bag.
Which is the dark prophecy.
That's the dark prophecy that he took from Moraine.
Right.
Who got it from Baal Dolmen.
That's right.
It's concerning. It's concerning.
Yeah, and we get the entire thing read out.
We do.
At the end, like the very end of the episode, it's overlaid with the last scene, which again...
We'll come back to it.
We'll come back to. They all, it all over... intersects.
Yeah, I think the last scene of this episode is
good. It's
so done.
Good. Oh, it's so good.
Overlaid by everybody and the beginning, and it's so great. Okay,
so let's quickly talk about Rand and Celine.
Yeah.
AKA Lanfear.
Whoa.
One of the most dangerous of the Forsaken.
Yeah.
Daughter of the Night.
Yeah, which is great because Celine is the play on like the moon. So Daughter of the Night, fantastic. Okay, so Rand, first off, before we get to that fantastic sequence, we got Rand shoveling up some of the burned in. Like with a shovel and a butt, like I don't know.
He's trying to help clean up.
He's trying to help because
he feels bad
because he lit the inn on fire. But then Celine, because we still know her as Celine at this point, she's taking the blame because she's like, "Oh, I must not have snuffed out the candle before
candles. Bed." Yeah, and you know when all your structures are made completely of wood,
terrible,
and your only light source is candles and oil,
and then there's no such thing as a fire truck or anything.
Oh my gosh!
Got to do the bucket brigade. No, that's not fast enough. Okay, but good thing she's going to hire some people to rebuild it.
Like she knows.
She knows. Luckily, her family, this is not true, has a
cabin.
That is her, yeah, they have a cabin.
Hey, here's a bit of advice.
Yeah.
Don't go to the cabin in the woods.
Or do if she promises to do things.
No!
I'm just saying, she's not, I don't know that he's doing the wrong thing here. She doesn't want to hurt him. She's
just a mysterious older lady.
Yeah. Who wouldn't want this?
Come to the
a mountain cabin? Do you see the view?
Every horror movie.
Okay.
About a cabin in the woods.
Yeah, but this goes great though because so they go up to the cabin, Kinslayer's dagger. It's great. She admits that she used to come here with a man, not her family. That's fine.
And can we talk about this scene where they're standing up there?
Very precariously.
Oh.
I know. I got vertigo just like watching this.
I know. I was like, oh God, I don't want to fall.
Please take a couple steps away from the edge here.
From the edge. And then if anybody is even remotely aware of all of the season 2 trailer stuff before we got all of season 2, this scene with Celine and Rand standing there was part of a trailer or a teaser we got, and we had this entire fandom collapse about whether or not Celine has this black hair or if it's a hood up.
Oh.
And it was Team Hood and Team Hair.
Oh,
and
I forgot about that.
And I was trying to convince everyone. I was like, listen, it's just Team Bad Wig.
Another thing, just like the fake meat that you care about so much.
The bad wigs.
Yeah.
It's just a bad wig.
Okay.
And you can tell.
I don't know that.
I know.
I can't agree with that because I don't know.
Yeah, I was like, don't worry, guys.
Anyways.
It's neither. Everyone's fighting. I was like, it's not hair and it's not a hood.
So back to it because they're doing some lovey-dovey stuff.
Yeah, I had to put that on the record.
I know. I don't know. Like how many? Does it matter?
The people who were invested in that.
That's fair. Some people care.
Hairgate. They really, really, really cared. Like a lot.
You want to talk about the next scene, which is insane?
Yes.
So they have this nice, comfortable cabin.
And they're sleeping
outside. And they're sleeping outside. Do you know how cold it gets? I don't care if it's a warm place. It gets cold at nighttime.
And it's so uncomfortable.
Sleeping on the ground. Like, what is happening?
Okay.
Explain this to me.
When I saw that,
I
remember the first time I watched it.
Right.
And I couldn't remember if I noted that they were just sleeping outside. Like, I didn't listen back to our initial reaction for this one.
Like, I could understand if they got so drunk that they passed out outside.
Not drunk.
Or something. Like,
not drunk. It's like if you're out by the campfire and you're just like sharing stories.
But you're not falling asleep out there.
Asleep. There's no fire.
Yeah.
They're like asleep.
Yeah.
Like this isn't
they
just
could have been they could have been snuggling then
or like
he hears something.
No, they're asleep under the stars.
Crazy.
With a cabin right there.
I know.
Like we're backcountry
Doesn't make any sense.
When we have a glamp right there.
There might be bears. I'm just like, we should have a real fear of like regular forest animals.
Wolves?
Oh, yeah. You know what? Sure. Put wolves up, but bears.
And how about shadow spawn?
You know what I'm not afraid of?
Fades.
Cougars.
Nice.
Yeah, okay.
Good one.
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah.
Celine. Great. Okay.
Anyways,
so Rand wakes up. And again, this has to all be, because now we know she's literally an evil Forsaken. So this has to be planned, right? Like, is this planned?
It feels planned.
It feels planned. So Rand gets up.
Why else would there just be like one fade?
I don't know.
Hanging out.
I'm suspicious
for
now.
For no reason.
I'm suspicious.
Now this special effects channeling, not for me.
Oh my goodness. Did
you love it?
I love all of it. I'm here for it.
No, I was like, ugh.
Okay.
I was like, I get it.
Fade pops up.
It just takes me out of it. It takes me out of it every time when it's so bad.
Okay.
I hate it.
Can we move on? Sure. Can we move on from it?
Sure.
Because the next scene redeems it. Yeah.
I love all the
rest
of it.
Then talk about what you love about it, not what you hate about it.
I can talk about some things I don't like too.
Okay, so the fade.
Hey.
Yeah.
I'm allowed to talk about things I don't care for, just like you are.
Okay. There hasn't been anything yet, except for the sleeping outside.
Yeah, see?
It's crazy.
Well, you told me you wanted to go sleep in the woods just half an hour ago.
What?
With the wolves. You didn't want to be with people anymore.
No, I didn't say that. You said that, and I disagreed with you. I said I understand what Elias is doing.
Okay, fine.
Okay. So the Fade attacks. Rand's sword gets knocked out of his hands because Rand sucks at sword fighting.
Well, and was it Celine?
Yeah.
Was it Lanfear
Could
who
be that too.
Knocked his sword out of his hand?
So he channels, he bursts it into flame or whatever, and then Celine acts all confused and scared, and she's like, what's happening?
Oh
Is that channeling? Yeah.
It's the best
it's so
acting
funny.
Of bad acting.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's great.
It's so good.
Yeah. And then she does why didn't you tell me that you could channel? And then he does the natural
acts
thing.
all hurt.
Yeah. His explanation is so understandable because it's like, because men go crazy and murder everyone.
And then the Red Aja come and kill you.
That's why, he didn't tell. Everyone knows.
You don't, as a man who can channel, it's not allowed in this world.
You don't do
There's
that.
a literal red police force
in
charge of finding you and hunting you down and making sure that you're dead.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's why. But
Yeah.
what he says, and we're going to focus on the words here because her response is fantastic. He says, when men go mad, they kill everyone they love, so I'll go as far away as I can. And then she goes...
You love me?
I love that that's what she takes out of it. It's like, that was the important part.
And then he kind of smirks.
Yeah.
He's like, you do love
And
me.
they're never going to have enough time together, so let's go into the cabin now.
Now we're going into the cabin.
Yeah.
Do we assume we already hooked up outside?
Yes.
And that's why, we're so sleepy?
Yes. On that precarious ledge. It's like right there previously. Like, I would assume so.
Assume so.
Yeah.
Well, I thought that the ledge was away from the cabin. Like, they hiked to the ledge to see
right,
the view.
okay. I don't know where
like, you don't go to a mountain cabin if you're not going to, like,
okay,
hike
but here's the thing. It looks like they were sleeping next to a ledge, though.
It didn't look like that to me.
Well, he, puts himself in front of her, and then they can't back up. And they can't back up anymore, though, because, like, I think there's a ledge. I don't know. I'm worried about the ledges. I don't think that matters.
It's very dark.
Okay, anyways. Dark. Last important line, he says that he's a monster.
Oh.
So that leads into the next scene that's going to get overlaid by all the different scenes.
Right.
Because Lanfear has a message for him.
Well, naturally.
Yeah.
When a man channels in front of you and murders a scary, evil Fade...
Yes.
You have to go do it in a cabin.
It makes sense.
You gotta.
It makes sense to me.
And you have to specifically rip up your clothes to tie him to the bedpost.
Yeah. Again,
as part of the...
I don't know that I'm against this relationship. Like, I'm just saying.
Well, it just feels like, okay, I love you. And then it's, instead of this, like, passionate, intimate scene, it's like, dominatrix. I own you now.
Yeah.
Like, and I mean, cool if you're into that. But it's just typically, in a typical love scene...
Well,
we're getting like, oh my God.
Yeah, but you know,
romantic.
This is her natural habitat at the nighttime, right? Daughter of the night. That's what they call
like
her.
It, yeah, I know, it's pretty great.
Okay, so I'm gonna do the poem here because we have the overlay of the Alana, Ivan, Maxim reading this poem and being like, oh shit, this is bad. And does Lan know what this is? Like, this is bad.
Yeah.
That's overlaid with Lanfear telling Rand that she has a secret, that she's a monster too. And that's overlaid with the intro scene, the cold open, with the Shamael greeting the bloody woman who he's resurrected. Yeah, freed from the magic lamp.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, so the poem. Daughter of the night, she walks again. The ancient war she yet fights. Her new lover she seeks. Who shall serve her and die, yet serve still? Who shall stand against her coming? The shining walls shall kneel. Blood feeds blood. Blood calls blood. Blood is, blood was, and blood shall ever be. And they're like, Lanfear, she's in the world again.
Ooh.
And then that's overlaid with Lanfear being all bloody, standing up, and that's clearly Selene.
Right.
Wow.
And then we have Selene over top of Rand being like, I'm a monster too. And he's all like, this is the best.
This is great.
Yeah.
Whatever you want. It's like role-playing. It's like, oh, yeah, you're a monster.
Yeah. Except this doesn't feel like role. This is just life.
Yeah.
You don't have to, like, pretend here.
Right. Okay.
That's the thing.
Now, what a jump scare. Holy moly.
Yeah, because all of a sudden just blood sprays on Rand's body and his face while he's tied to the bedpost because a knife, like, goes...
No, it's his sword.
His sword.
From outside, because it got knocked away, remember?
Oh.
Maury must have picked it up, yeah.
From outside, goes through her chest.
Yeah.
And then, all of a sudden, Moraine is there.
Pops up behind, over the shoulder.
The most sexy thing. No, just kidding. Slits her throat, blood everywhere.
Yeah.
Cuts Rand's bonds.
Yeah.
And is like, we gotta get out of here. In the most dramatic Moraine fashion.
Oh, so dramatic.
That has ever existed.
And then Rad's dramatic because, like, you killed her.
Yeah. He's like, I love her.
Wait a second.
Mom. But Mom, I love her. You don't even understand
You're not supposed to walk in on us right now. Not even in your house right now. What's happening?
Yeah. And so she's like, we gotta go.
That's Lanfear. That's the daughter of the night. That's the most dangerous of all the Forsaken.
Of all the Forsaken. Yeah. Holy moly.
And good for Rand for, like, you know, believing and then going with her.
Well, I don't think he had much of a choice.
That's like, what are you gonna stay? You want to clean this up? I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, what are the options here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Especially because I think that he was a little bit onto her when she's like, I'm a monster too. And he was like, huh? And then Maureen's like, that's a Forsaken.
That's a monster.
She's been tricking you.
Right.
She's been lying to you this whole time. I haven't killed her. I couldn't.
Yeah.
That's a Forsaken.
Like, that ain't gonna do it. So.
Right. And the entire time that Moraine is trying to convince Rand, he's clearly channeling.
Oh, yeah. Well, he like throws her up against the wall, too.
Right. And so she's just trying not to get unalived by Rand.
Right.
And then she says again, I can't lie.
Yeah, she does say it again.
I'm telling the truth.
But I think she said that a lot, too. I feel like she says it a lot as a tool. I don't think she just
to
started.
Remind people.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's fair.
Yeah, because we do know she bends her words a lot intentionally, but then uses the I can't lie as a
right, because it works here. Because that's what makes Rand go, oh, shoot.
It's like such a clear statement.
Yeah, and then she's like, now hurry.
Yeah.
And then just like takes off, and then Rand takes off after her.
But I also totally agree with you. Like, maybe we should be suspicious of can people lie after the, what are the rules here?
What are the rules here? But turns out, she's not lying.
No.
This isn't a lie.
Yeah.
Because we get Lanfear, who's laying there with her eyes open.
Yeah.
And then she blinks them.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, she does.
Not without little black specks floating in her eyes.
Yeah, it looked like some black going across her eyes. So yeah, there's some
evil darkness.
Yep. She might be a bad guy.
I love Lanfear.
Oh, it's so good.
I love this reveal.
Yeah, it was really well done.
We're waiting for the Celine Lanfear reveal.
Yeah.
And it is so satisfying.
Pretty fantastic.
It's so good.
Good job, Daughter of the Night.
Oh, so good.
Okay.
I love Lanfear so much as a character, as a villain.
Yeah, that's okay. You can like the bad guy characters. That's fine.
This was so good. I was waiting for it. It was so good.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, here we go. We're counting down.
Yep.
It's really, really getting close.
Yep.
To our season 3 premiere, so
we're gonna make it happen. Next up is episode 5.
Okay, that's good. This season's good.
Oh yeah, it's fantastic. Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, as we say around here, it's part of the pattern now.
Yeah, it's part of the pattern.
Hey, thanks so much for sticking around. That's the end of another fun episode. The Wheel Weaves is hosted and edited by Dani and Brett and produced by Dani and Brett with Passion Socks, Cody Feltz, Benjamin, Jamie Young, Megan, Jared Berg, Ricky Morissette, Adam, Mozyme, Michelle Forbes, MKM, Antoine Benoit, Lawrence Bradley, Colby T, Gabby Young, Rycat, Zane Sayaka, Matrix, Matt Truss, The Albatross, Bratimus Prime, Sarah Creech, Sims, and Saverio Bartolini. With music by Audionautics. Now, everyone, please be sure to go check out our Patreon page if you are interested in supporting us and the podcast. We'd love to send you some Patreon-exclusive merchandise as a thank you, plus you'll gain access to our episodes earlier than everyone else. And, at the time of recording, we have almost 50 bonus episodes for your listening pleasure. Find all that and more at patreon.com/thewheelweavespodcast. As always, please be sure to give us a 5-star review because it really does make a huge difference in helping other people find us. And be sure to tell a friend, Riyadh, because referrals really are the best compliment. For general information about our show, like how to send us shot glasses, how to join our Discord, and how to get in touch with us, visit thewheelweavespodcast.com. Thanks again for listening. This really is part of the pattern now.
How to have fun anytime, anywhere. Step 1. Go to ChumbaCasino.com.
ChumbaCasino.com. Got it.
Step 2. Collect your welcome bonus.
Come to Papa welcome bonus.
Step 3. Play hundreds of casino-style games for free.
That's a lot of games. All for free?
Step 4. Unleash your excitement.
Woohoo! Chumba Casino has been delivering thrills for over a decade. So claim your free welcome bonus now and live the Chumba life. Visit ChumbaCasino.com.